Hey everyone, and welcome to Triple R Financial. Before we dive in, do me a huge favor and follow me on all my social media platforms and share this content. My first big goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers, and I can only do it with your help. Now, let's talk about money. Being poor simply means you make less money than you need for your basic necessities. You can't save, there's nothing to cut back on, and there's definitely no money to waste. This financial stress eventually takes a toll on your physical, mental, and emotional health. But what if I told you there's one single step, one fundamental shift in your thinking, that can start you on the path to becoming rich and financially free? That step is knowing your true financial value as an employee. You've probably heard of guys like Grant Cardone. I love Grant Cardone, but what he often doesn't break down is that his examples, his strategies, are designed for employers, business owners. When he talks about making $200,000 a year and putting $189,000 of it into real estate to write it off as a depreciating asset, that's an employer's move. Now, you don't need a physical storefront to be considered an employer in this context, but don't worry. I'm going to explain this to you like you're a 5th grade dropout. It's not as complicated as it sounds. When you own the real estate as a business, it gives you massive equity on paper. Why is that important? Because it gives you the power to walk into a bank and get huge loans to buy even more assets that make you even more money. It's a wealth-building cycle. Now, some wealthy people might tell you that you don't need a formal business to invest in real estate, and technically, that's true. An individual can buy a rental home or flip a property, but look closer. Most people who are serious about real estate investing form a limited liability company, or an LLC. Why? Because an LLC offers liability protection, separating your personal assets from your business risks. It also provides significant tax benefits and makes it easier to bring in partners. It's a business-like structure that smart investors use. You can start with your personal funds, but creating that business entity is what separates the amateurs from the pros. But let me give you a much clearer, more direct example of how the rich make their taxable income practically disappear. Let's imagine two people. The first is an employee who makes a respectable $40,000 a year in gross taxable income. The second is an employer, a business owner, who makes $4 million a year in gross taxable income. The main way the rich save colossal amounts of money is by writing off assets against their income. Let's follow our two examples. The employee making $40,000 a year needs a car to get to work. So, he takes out a $10,000 car loan. He makes his monthly payments faithfully. At the end of the year, he can't write off those car payments on his taxes. They're just a personal expense. Now, let's look at the employer. The employer who makes $4 million a year buys a $100,000 luxury car. Paying all cash, he uses it to flex, to enjoy his lifestyle, and maybe occasionally for business. Now, that $4 million income puts him in a high tax bracket. Before any deductions, he might owe the IRS around $2 million in taxes. But here's the magic trick. It may not seem fair, but it is tax law. The rich employer declares that his $100,000 luxury car is a business asset. He claims he uses it primarily for business purposes. Ever wonder why the owner of your company, who you never see, suddenly shows up once in a while with a box of pens or some office supplies? This is exactly why. They're establishing a business use for their vehicle and other expenses. You might be thinking, okay, $100,000 is a lot, but he still owes $1,900,000 in taxes. That's still a ton of money. Well, the game doesn't stop there. Guess what? That rich employer has a wife and 2 adult children. For legal and tax purposes, he lists his entire family as partners or employees in the business. What happens next? They each purchase their own luxury vehicles, and all those cars are written off as business expenses against that $4 million income. I keep telling people that when it comes to finance, many of us are blind, deaf, and uninformed. Have you ever seen someone start a business, and just 6 months later, their whole family is driving brand new luxury cars? This is how it happens. They aren't paying for those cars with after-tax money like our employee is. They are using pre-tax business revenue, which dramatically lowers the amount of money they actually pay taxes on. And it goes even deeper. Ever wonder how a business owner can afford a multi-million-dollar mansion? Very often, the home is legally owned by the business. They claim it's a corporate retreat, a place to host clients, or even a home office. In some cases, each family member, as a partner, might purchase a house and find a way to write it off as a business expense. There is so much more I could say about this. The strategies are almost endless. But I don't want to make this video too long and bore you. In my future videos, I'm going to expand on these topics in much greater detail, showing you more examples and breaking down the specifics. So, if you found this valuable, please like this video on whatever platform you're watching it on. More importantly, subscribe and hit that notification bell on all my social media accounts so you don't miss a thing. I'll put all the links in the description. As always, my message to you is this: know your financial value as an employee. Work to increase that value every single day. Have a great day and an even better year. Thanks for watching.